Life's trials often push the boundaries of our endurance, driving us to the edge of despair, forcing us to face our deepest dreads. In the calm that follows a tempest of misfortune, a quiet force awakens, a strength forged in hard times and sustained through perseverance. Every obstacle, no matter how crushing, holds the seeds of rebirth. And the promise of a fresh start. The journey to recover from life's biggest blows isn't paved with bold moves or empty words, but built through steady, measured steps that restore our inner strength and revive our sense of purpose in these testing times. The struggle becomes an invitation to rekindle our reserves of resolve and bravery. As you face the aftermath of loss, let each challenge reveal a lesson. Each moment of despair spark a glimmer of hope through reflection and action. Pain transforms into a stepping stone toward a stronger self. TIS plan for recovery is a testament to the unyielding human spirit, a reminder that even in our darkest hours, the potential for growth and renewal remains the first step. ISS, accepting the reality of a setback, the foundation upon which recovery is built. The moment you acknowledge the truth of your situation without hiding the pain or denying the loss, you begin to regain control over your story. Denial only deepens the wound, while acceptance, though heavy, a T first, clears the path for healing and growth. Recognize the setback as a part of life, an inevitable step in the journey that despite its harshness offers lessons waiting to be learned. It is not weakness to acknowledge failure. It is an ACT of strength and clarity in the silence after the storm when emotions are raw and every thought returns to the loss. Allow yourself to feel the full range of your experience, surrendering to TS truth. IS, the first step toward transformation. Each moment spent in denial is a moment lost from the process of rebuilding. When you face the facts, you set in motion the natural process of recovery, a process that honors your past while making space for a resilient future. Accepting your situation, is not giving up. ITIS, a conscious choice to stop fighting reality and instead use it as the material from which you can rebuild. By acknowledging what has happened, you free yourself from the paralysis of regret and self-blame. There is power in naming your feelings, in describing the setback in clear, unadorned terms. This clarity dispels the fog of confusion and enables you to plan your next steps with precision. Imagine the weight that lifts when you finally admit to yourself that the setback is part of your story, not IT's end, but a turning point. In TS honest reflection, you find that the experience, painful as it is, holds a mirror up to your life, inviting you to see not only the cracks, but the strength that has carried you TS far. Every scar is a testament to battles fought and lessons learned in this way. The setback becomes not a mark of failure, but a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and fortitude. Within the stillness that follows acceptance, there emerges an opportunity for clarity. When the mind stops resisting and starts observing, patterns begin to reveal themselves. IT becomes possible to identify not only what went wrong, but what can be salvaged in this reflective space. You learn that every loss, every stumble carries a fragment of insight that, when pieced together, forms the blueprint for a more resilient self. TS, understanding is the soil in which future success is sown, each lesson a seed that will, with time and nurture, blossom into newfound strength. Acknowledging the setback with honesty opens the door to self-compassion. It is essential to grant yourself the same kindness you would extend to a friend in a similar plight. In moments of deep vulnerability, the harsh inner critic can be silenced by a gentle, understanding voice that reminds you that imperfection is not only inevitable but integral to the human experience. By treating yourself with respect and care, you create an internal environment where recovery can take root. There is a profound liberation in accepting that the past cannot be changed. This truth, as bitter as it may taste, dissolves the chains of what-ifs and if-onlys. With each admission, you peel away layers of regret and self-doubt, revealing a core that is capable of extraordinary resilience. In this raw and honest moment, you reclaim your power by choosing to see the setback as a catalyst for change. A moment that, while painful, is rich with the potential for renewal. Acceptance is the threshold at which fear of the future yields to a steady resolve to move forward. ITIS, a deliberate TACT of courage to look at the present with unclouded eyes, to see the broken pieces of your past, and yet to recognize that these pieces are not the end, but the beginning of something new. With every honest reflection, the pain becomes tempered by wisdom, and from that wisdom emerges a spark of hope that lights the path to recovery. In this moment of acceptance, the journey of bouncing back begins. The reality of the setback, once a source of despair, transforms into the raw material for your comeback. You understand that while the scars may remain, they're not a sign of defeat, but evidence of survival. A record of the battles you have fought and the strength you have cultivated. This recognition fuels a quiet determination, a resolve that no setback, however significant, can extinguish the inner light that guides you forward. The second way is to reclaim your sense of purpose and direction in the wake of a setback, when the path ahead appears obscured by doubt and uncertainty. Anchoring yourself in a renewed purpose becomes the beacon that guides you for it in the silence following a great loss. There exists an opportunity to redefine what truly matters. Start by reflecting on the core values that have always driven you, the principles that have shaped your decisions and carried you through turbulent times. By reconnecting with these values, you tap into a deep reservoir of inner strength, one that can restore your focus and ignite a fresh sense of determination. TS process is not about forcing an artificial sense of optimism, but rather about rediscovering the intrinsic motivations that fuel your journey. Consider the moments when your actions were guided by clarity of purpose, a time when each step you took was imbued with meaning and conviction. Allow those memories to serve as a reminder that even in the aftermath of setbacks, there remains an unyielding core within you that is capable of extraordinary resilience in the midst of adversity. It is essential to reframe your perspective instead of viewing the setback as a deviation from your intended path. See it as a necessary detour that offers valuable lessons and unexpected opportunities. Every twist in your journey provides a moment to reassess your goals, to recalibrate your strategies, and to emerge with a clearer understanding of what you want to achieve. When you commit to this introspection, you begin to see that setbacks are not dead ends, but junctions where you can change direction. This realization opens the door to renewed ambition and clarity, as you recognize that your previous goals may need to be refined or even reinvented. In light of your new experiences, the ACT of redefining your purpose is an exercise in self-empowerment. It transforms your setback into a stepping stone, reinforcing your ability to adapt and thrive despite the odds. Imagine standing at a crossroads where each path holds the promise of discovery and renewal. In this moment, the decision to realign with your purpose is a declaration of self-belief, a refusal to be confined by past failures. Instead of succumbing to the weight of disappointment, you choose to channel that energy into forging a new direction, one that is informed by both your previous experiences and your unwavering resolve. As you embark on this journey of rediscovery, consider setting aside time for deep reflection in quiet moments of solitude, free from the distractions of daily life. Allow your thoughts to wander back to what has always mattered to you. Reconnect with the dreams that once lit a fire within your soul and examine whether they still resonate with the person you are today. This process of self-reflection, not instantaneous, requires patience and a willingness to embrace the complexities of your emotions within these reflective moments. Seek to identify the lessons hidden within your setback. Ask yourself what this experience has revealed about your strengths and weaknesses, about your passions and your limites. Every challenge carries with it the potential for profound insight, a chance to learn more about the essence of who you are and what you are truly capable of achieving when you emerge from this period of introspection. Let the clarity of your renewed purpose guide your actions. Craft a vision of the future that is both realistic and inspiring, a vision that honors the lessons of the past while embracing the possibilities of tomorrow. Write down your new objectives and the steps necessary to achieve them, committing to a course of action that aligns with your rediscovered values. This act of realignment is transformative. With every deliberate decision to follow the path illuminated by your inner values, you reinforce your commitment to personal growth. The setback that once loomed large now recedes into the background, as you build a future that is grounded in purpose and resilience. Reclaiming your sense of purpose is more than a momentary effort. It is an ongoing practice. IT requires regular reminders of why you started, of the dreams that continue to fuel your journey in times of doubt. Return to the foundation of your values and let them be the steady light that dispels the shadows of uncertainty. By continuously reconnecting with your core motivations, you create a powerful feedback loop. Each action taken in alignment with your purpose strengthens your resolve, and every small victory along the way reinforces your belief in the future crafted by your own hands. TIA's cycle of purpose and action is a dynamic force capable of transforming setbacks into the raw material for renewed strength and ambition. In embracing the clarity that comes from reconnecting with your purpose, you not only pave the way for recovery, but build a resilient framework for future challenges. The setback is recontextualized as a moment of learning and recalibration, a pivotal chapter In a story of relentless perseverance with your purpose firmly reestablished, you step forward with renewed confidence, ready to transform adversity into an opportunity for growth and success. The third way is to harness the power of introspection and mindful analysis as a tool for rebuilding strength when the weight of setbacks bears down. Taking time to reflect deeply on your experiences can become a beacon of clarity in the midst of chaos. Through honest, unhurried reflection, you allow the layers of confusion and pain to peel away, revealing the underlying truths of your journey. In these moments of quiet contemplation, you begin to recognize the patterns that have both hindered and propelled you. Each thought that RSS is a guidepost illuminating aspects of your inner world that may have long been obscured by the turbulence of adversity. By engaging in this process, you create a space where insights can emerge naturally, insights that help you understand not just what went wrong, but why it happened, and how it can serve as a foundation for future growth. Every experience, no matter how painful, contains within it a lesson waiting to be learned. When you allow yourself to examine these lessons with clarity and without judgment, you transform the raw material of hardship into the building blocks of resilience. In the reflective silence that follows, you learn to discern the difference between circumstances that are beyond your control and the choices that lie within your power. The distinction is critical. It is the key to freeing yourself from the grip of regret and redirecting your focus toward constructive change. The practice of introspection. It's not about dwelling on past errors, but about engaging in a continuous dialogue with your inner self, a conversation that respects both your vulnerabilities and your strengths. Consider dedicating moments each day to pause and review your experiences, the emotions that surfaced, the reactions you had, and the lessons that emerged. Write down these reflections in a simple journal as a means of recording your progress and reinforcing the insights you gain over time. This deliberate act of self-examination not only sharpens your awareness of recurring patterns, but empowers you to make more intentional choices in the future. It's a gentle yet powerful reminder that each setback is an opportunity to learn more about your inner workings, to understand your triggers, and to chart a course toward greater emotional fortitude. Imagine the clarity that can arise when you step back from the immediate turmoil and view your experiences with a calm, analytical mind. In that stillness, you begin to see that every challenge contains within it a spark of wisdom, a message that speaks directly to your capacity for growth. Reflective practice is akin to tending a garden with careful attention. The weeds of doubt are removed and the flowers of insight are allowed to bloom in time. You discover that the insights harvested through introspection form the very backbone of your inner resilience, enabling you to face future challenges with a measured, confident spirit. As you continue to cultivate this habit, you learn to appreciate the value of each setback, not as a mark of failure, but as an integral part of your evolving story. It's through reflection that you come to understand the nuances of your reactions and the depth of your inner strength. Every pause to analyze your feelings and thoughts a step toward transforming adversity into a wellspring of personal wisdom. In this ongoing process, you become both the student and the teacher of your own life, continuously gathering insights that enhance your ability to navigate uncertainty and to make choices that align with your true values. In moments when the past threatens to overwhelm you, return to practice of mindful analysis. Remind yourself that every reflection is a step toward clarity and that every insight is a tool for empowerment. The process is gradual and requires patience, but with each thoughtful review, you strengthen your capacity to learn from the past and to build a more resilient future. By embracing introspection as a vital component of your recovery, you acknowledge that journey toward bouncing back is as much an internal process as it's an external one. It's a testament to the idea that the power to overcome lies within you, a power that grows with every honest look inward, every thoughtful analysis, and every lesson learned from the chapters of your life. In this way, the act of introspection becomes a transformative ritual, a steady cadence in your journey toward resilience. With each reflective moment, you lay the groundwork for a more deliberate and empowered existence. The clarity that emerges from this practice serves as a constant reminder that even the darkest setbacks can illuminate the path to a brighter, more confident future. The fourth way to bounce back is to cultivate and rely on a supportive network that nurtures your spirit and fortifies your resolve in times of despair. When the weight of setbacks seems unbearable, the comfort of genuine connection can serve as a lifeline. Surround yourself with individuals who understand the value of resilience and who have weathered their own storms. Their stories of perseverance become the mirror in which you can see your own strength. Reflected back to you, this network, whether IT consists of family, friends, or trusted colleagues, offers more than just a listening ear. IT provides practical advice, empathetic support, and a reminder that you are not alone in your struggle. If setback seems unbearable, the comfort of genuine connection can serve as a lifeline. Surround yourself with individuals who understand the value of resilience and who have weathered their own storms. Their stories of perseverance become the mirror in which you can see your own strength reflected back at you. This network, whether IT consists of family, friends, or trusted colleagues, offers more than just a listening ear. IT provides practical advice, empathetic support, and a reminder that you are not alone in your struggle in the quiet moments after a deep loss. It's common to retreat into solitude, believing that isolation might ease the pain, yet true recovery often begins when you allow the warmth of communal support to break through the cold isolation of your setbacks. There is a profound power in sharing your burdens and opening up about your disappointments and fears, because IT transforms personal sorrow into a shared human experience when you speak your truth and listen to others who have overcome similar challenges. You weave a tapestry of mutual understanding that reinforces your ability to rise again. Consider the simple ACT of meeting with someone who has walked a similar path, observing how their resilience was forged in the fires of adversity. Their experience relayed in quiet conversation or heartfelt letters can, a CT as a beacon, lighting the way forward when your own path seems shrouded in uncertainty. In these exchanges, you discover that each setback is not a unique failure, but a universal part of life's journey, one that everyone encounters and overcomes in their own time, nurturing a supportive network. Not merely about receiving help, it's about offering your own strength to others in the ACT, of giving, sharing your experiences, your insights, and your compassion. You reinforce the bonds that hold your community together. This reciprocal flow of support creates an environment where healing becomes a collective process, where the resilience of one strengthens the resilience of all through honest, empathetic dialogue. You learn that vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a courageous step toward rebuilding trust in yourself and in others. Every shared moment of hardship, every conversation about loss and hope becomes a thread in the fabric of a community that stands together in the face of life's challenges. Imagine sitting around a table with those who understand your pain, each person contributing a story of recovery, a story that affirms that even in the darkest moments there is a light that never fully fades. In these gatherings, the shared silence between words can be as healing as the conversation itself, allowing you to process emotions in a space where judgment is replaced by compassion. This mutual exchange of experiences builds an unspoken alliance, a network that serves as a reservoir of collective wisdom and strength. The process of forging and maintaining these connections requires intention and effort. It's about actively reaching out even when your spirit feels battered, and being willing to accept support when it is offered. Sometimes this means attending a small community meeting or simply inviting a friend for a quiet walk in the park. In these seemingly simple acts, you plant the seeds of a supportive environment that can sustain you through life's inevitable challenges. Moreover, a supportive network extends beyond immediate personal relationships. IT can include mentors, community groups, or even literature that speaks to the universal human experience of struggle and recovery. These resources serve as beacons of guidance, offering perspectives that may differ from your own and broadening your understanding of resilience. When you engage with a diverse array of support systems, you tap into a collective wisdom that empowers you to see your setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than as permanent failures. There's a subtle ART to balancing independence with interdependence. While IT is crucial to nurture your inner strength, allowing others to share in your journey does not diminish your resilience. IT enhances it in accepting that you are part of a larger whole. You find that your individual setbacks become less daunting when measured against the shared human capacity for recovery. Every supportive word, every compassionate gesture contributes to a renewed sense of self-worth and a belief that together even the heaviest burdens can be lifted through the consistent practice of reaching out and building relationships. You construct a network that acts as a safety net, catching you when you falter and encouraging you to rise each time. The power of this network lies in its ability to remind you that setbacks are not the end of your story, but rather pivotal chapters in a narrative of ongoing resilience in the collective embrace of a caring community. You find that the path to recovery is illuminated by shared experiences and mutual support. Ultimately, The ACT of cultivating a supportive network, ISAN. Investment in your own recovery, ITISS. A deliberate choice to allow the strength of others to bolster your own, creating a dynamic synergy that transforms isolation into solidarity in TIS environment. The challenges of today become the building blocks of a brighter, more connected tomorrow, where every setback is met with a resounding communal commitment to bounce back stronger than before. The fifth way, IS. To reframe your mindset by embracing relentless optimism and a belief in your capacity for renewal when life setbacks, CAST, long shadows over your progress. Choosing to view every challenge as an opportunity for growth can fundamentally transform your outlook. Optimi S&M is not a naive dismissal of reality. It is the deliberate ACT of seeing possibility where others see only obstacles in the aftermath of a setback. Your thoughts can either become the anchors that keep you in despair or the wings that lift you toward a brighter horizon. By intentionally cultivating an optimistic mindset, you rewire your internal narrative. Transforming adversity into the catalyst for innovation and personal development. TIS shift begins with a conscious decision to focus on what can be salvaged rather than what is lost. Reflect on the experiences that have shaped you, not with regret, but with a recognition that each hardship contains a hidden lesson. There is power in acknowledging that every setback, no matter how severe, carries within it the seeds of a future breakthrough. In the quiet moments after failure, allow yourself to examine the situation with gentle curiosity. Ask what opportunities lie beneath the surface of disappointment and consider how the pain you endure today may serve as the foundation for tomorrow's strength. Optimism thrives on the practice of gratitude, even in the midst of life. Altering challenges, find small moments to appreciate the resilience you discover in yourself, the kindness of a friend who reaches out, or the subtle beauty of a sunrise after a long night. By anchoring your thoughts in gratitude, you create a mental space where hope can flourish. Every grateful thought acts as a counterbalance to negativity, infusing you with the confidence that you can re-say again. Imagine a painter with a palette of vibrant colors, each stroke a deliberate choice to transform a blank canvas into a work of art. Your mindset is much the same, a canvas upon which you have the power to paint a picture of recovery and triumph in moments of despair when the palette appears dominated by dark hues. Seek out the vibrant shades of hope and possibility. Allow each positive thought to add a splash of color, gradually transforming the overall picture of your life into one that reflects resilience and creativity. The IS process of reframing is bolstered by the habit of affirming your ability to overcome. Consistently remind yourself that setbacks are temporary and that every challenge is a stepping stone on your journey toward mastery. Engage in affirmations that reinforce your inner strength and your capacity for renewal. Phrases like, I am capable of turning obstacles into opportunities, or every setback set up for a comeback, can become mantras that reorient your focus toward growth. Such practices are not merely words, they are a declaration of intent, a commitment to see beyond the immediate pain and to recognize the unfolding potential of your situation. With each repetition, you begin to internalize the belief that no setback can permanently define you, that at every moment of struggle but a chapter in a larger triumphant story. This sustained optimism creates a feedback loop. As you start to see improvements in your circumstances, your confidence grows, further fueling your positive outlook. Optimism empowers you to set realistic expectations for recovery. Understand that healing is not linear. There will be days when the weight of disappointment feels heavy, and others when hope seems to burst forth unexpectedly. Embrace this ebb and flow as part of your natural rhythm. Recognize that setbacks do not erase past victories. They simply call for a recalibration of your strategy. By adjusting your expectations and embracing a long-term perspective, you allow yourself the freedom to recover at your own pace, celebrating small wins along the way. Furthermore, adopting an optimistic stance involves actively challenging negative thought patterns when faced with a discouraging setback. Pause to question the veracity of your pessimistic assumptions. Are these thoughts reflecting the totality of your experience, or are they shadows? CAST. By a temporary crisis, replace sweeping generalizations with specific, actionable insights. If you find yourself thinking, I always fail, counter with, I have faced challenges before and emerged stronger. SIS. Another opportunity to learn. This conscious rebalancing of your internal dialogue is a powerful step in reclaiming control over your narrative. As you persist in this practice, you begin to notice that optimism is not an external imposition, but an internal truth, waiting to be awakened with every challenge you overcome. Your capacity for hope deepens, solidifying your belief that even the darkest moments contain the potential for light. The ACT of reframing your mindset becomes a daily ritual, an ongoing commitment to see beyond the immediate struggle and to envision a future rich with promise and possibility in the end. The choice to adopt relentless optimism, SM, is a transformative one. IT shifts your focus from what has been lost to what can be gained from the pain of the present to the promise of the future through gratitude, affirmations, and the active challenging of negativity. You build a resilient mental framework that supports your recovery with each positive thought. You lay another brick in the foundation of your comeback, proving to yourself that every setback is not a dead end, but a detour on the road to an even greater destination, the sixth way is to take decisive action that transforms your setbacks into stepping stones. In the wake of adversity, it is easy to remain suspended in a state of inaction, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the challenge, yet each moment you hesitate is an opportunity lost to rebuild, recover, and rise when you choose to CT, even in small ways. You begin to dismantle the inertia. Thought T often follows a major setback action. It's not about making grand gestures all at once. IT is about the steady, deliberate choices that propel you forward, choices that affirm your commitment to move beyond the pain and towards renewal. The key is to start where you are, using the raw energy of your experience to achieve them. This not only clarifies your direction, but serves as a tangible reminder of your progress. Even on days when the future seems uncertain, as you check off each completed task, you reinforce your confidence, proving to yourself that every ACCN, no matter how modest, contributes to a broader narrative of resilience and recovery image. Each step is a purposeful act of defiance against the obstacles that seek to hold you back, a steadfast declaration that you possess the power to shape your fate. Regardless of the challenges that come your way as you progress, ITIS crucial to remain flexible. The path to recovery is rarely straight. ITIS a winding journey with unexpected turns and unforeseen hurdles. Embrace the reality that some actions may not produce immediate results and that obstacles may arise even as you make strides toward success. In these moments, the ability to adapt your approach becomes a strength in itself. Reflect on what is working and what needs change, and fuel a transformation that assess as practical as ITIS. Powerful in these moments of decision, focus on what you can control. Identify one or two tangible steps that can be taken immediately to begin the process of recovery. Perhaps ITIS, organizing your thoughts in a journal, reaching out to someone who can offer guidance, or simply making a commitment to a daily routine that instills a sense of purpose. Each small action is a victory, a declaration that you are not defined by your setbacks, but are actively crafting a path to recovery. When you commit to these actions, you create a momentum that gradually erodes the weight of despair with every forward step. You rebuild the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, laying down solid bricks of determination and self-belief. ITIS crucial to view these actions not as isolated events, but as parts of a larger strategy, a plan. However simple, offers structure in the chaos. Write down your immediate goals and the steps required. Be ready to adjust your plan without losing sight of your ultimate goal. This flexibility ensures that your efforts remain effective, keeping you aligned with the evolving circumstances of your life every time you recalibrate. You deepen your understanding of both the challenge and your own capabilities. There is a deep element of courage in taking action. It takes bravery to step out of the comfort of inaction and face the uncertainty of change. Acknowledge that fear may accompany you on TS journey, but do not let IT dictate your choices. Instead, let each ACT of courage, whether IT is seeking help, taking on a new challenge, or simply moving forward despite the lingering pain, serve as a building block in your recovery. With every brave decision, you chip away at the walls of self-doubt and reinforce the belief that you are capable of overcoming even the most daunting obstacles. Courage and action are a quiet but unstoppable force that transforms vulnerability into strength and hesitation into momentum. Moreover, taking decisive action fosters a sense of agency that is vital to rebuilding your life. When you actively shape your response to adversity, you reclaim control over your narrative. No longer are you merely a victim of circumstance, you become the architect of your own comeback. TIS empowerment is not instantaneous, but it grows with each deliberate decision, each act that propels you forward, and each moment when you choose. Progress over paralysis. Every action you take is a reaffirmation of your ability to influence your own destiny, a living testament to the truth that recovery is a process built on the consistent, cumulative impact of your efforts. As you continue on TS path, remember that even in the smallest actions, there is a profound significance. Each choice to rise, each step taken toward your goals contributes to a larger narrative of resilience. With every deliberate move, you lay another stone in the foundation of a future defined not by past setbacks, but by the strength and resolve that have emerged from them. TS is the essence of turning action into recovery, the transformation of adversity into a catalyst for growth, the continuous unyielding commitment to reclaiming your life one step at a time, the seventh way to bounce back is to rebuild your self-trust by embracing responsibility and learning from your mistakes when setbacks shake the foundation of your confidence, taking responsibility for your role in the events that unfolded can be a transformative accountability. It's not about self-blame or harsh criticism. It is about understanding that every experience, even the painful ones, provides a roadmap for future improvement in the quiet aftermath of a setback when emotions may be raw and judgment lurks at every corner of your mind. The decision to face the truth of your actions can lead to a deeper, more resilient self-trust. Begin by reflecting honestly on the circumstances that led to the setback in the stillness of. These moments allow yourself to examine your decisions, behaviors, and the choices that contributed to the outcome. Honest evaluation is not meant to diminish your worth, but to empower you with clarity. Every experience, when dissected with a compassionate mind, reveals the patterns of thought and action that can be honed into a stronger, more decisive force. Through this process, you learn that true strength lies in the willingness to admit mistakes and to use them as the stepping stones to a wiser self. Each admission of error is an opportunity to recalibrate your behavior and to set new, more constructive intentions for the future. There is profound liberation in accepting your imperfections rather than allowing past mistakes to haunt you with regret. View them as critical lessons that have contributed to the growth of your character. When you take ownership of your actions, you reclaim a power that may have been lost in the fog of self-doubt. This ACT of accountability transforms the narrative from one of victimhood into one of empowered choice in TS space. Every mistake becomes a chapter in the ongoing story of your personal evolution, a story that is not defined by the setbacks themselves, but by your capacity to learn, adapt, and move forward with renewed determination. Cultivating self-trust through accountability involves setting realistic expectations for yourself. Acknowledge that the road to recovery is lined with moments of triumph, as well as periods of setback. The key is to focus on the progress made rather than on the errors that occurred. When you commit to a practice of regular self-reflection, you begin to see a pattern emerge, one that highlights both your strengths and the areas where improvement is needed. Ongoing dialogue with yourself serves as a constant reminder that while no one is perfect, the pursuit of excellence is a lifelong journey. By measuring your progress against your own standards of growth rather than against an unattainable ideal, you build a foundation of trust that reinforces your ability to overcome future challenges. Imagine the strength that comes from being able to say, "I made a mistake and now I know how to do better." This affirmation is not a sign of weakness, but of immense courage. In every instance where you acknowledge a misstep, you create an opportunity to learn and to refine your approach. The feedback loop of accountability and self-improvement becomes a powerful force, a driving engine that propels you toward a future built on lessons learned and personal victories earned. Each time you hold yourself accountable, you strengthen your inner resolve and rebuild the trust you have in your own decision-making abilities. This trust is essential for bouncing back from setbacks, for it allows you to move forward with confidence that your choices are guided by both wisdom and the hard-earned knowledge of your past. Experiences accountability extends beyond the individual when you share your reflections. With a trusted confidant or mentor, you invite perspectives that can further illuminate the path to recovery. The ACT of DI. Discussing your experiences openly is a testament to your commitment to growth and an acknowledgement that support from others can be a critical ingredient in rebuilding self-trust. In these conversations, you find not only validation, but constructive feedback that helps to fine-tune your approach to future challenges. The shared insights from others who have navigated similar trials serve as both inspiration and guidance, reinforcing the idea that accountability is a communal process, a network of mutual growth and shared resilience. As you integrate accountability into your daily life, you will notice a gradual yet profound shift in how you view yourself and your capabilities. The fear of making mistakes begins to wane, replaced by a confident understanding that each error is simply a stepping stone toward greater mastery. This shift in perspective transforms accountability from a source of burden into a tool for empowerment. Every time you acknowledge your mistakes and commit to learning from them, you reaffirm that you are in charge of your destiny. The ACT of accountability becomes a recurring theme in your life, a mantra of self-improvement that echoes with every decision you make and every challenge you face. In this way, rebuilding self-trust through accountability is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process, a continuous journey of introspection, correction, and renewal. With each ACT of responsibility, You fortify the bridge between your past experiences and your future potential. The scars of previous setbacks, when met with honesty and a commitment to learning, become the badges of honor that signify not defeat, but the hard-won lessons that propel you forward every moment of accountability. It's a reaffirmation of your ability to bounce back, to adapt, and to emerge stronger than before. The eighth way is to invest in nurturing your inner strength. By developing new skills and habits that empower you to face future challenges with confidence. When setbacks have shaken your foundation, the ACT of learning and self-improvement becomes a powerful tool to rebuild your resilience. Begin by identifying areas in your life where growth is possible. Whether ITIS, acquiring practical skills, improving emotional intelligence, or simply refining the way you manage your time and energy. Each new skill learned is an investment in your future, a brick laid in the foundation of a stronger, more capable self. In the quiet moments after hardship, when doubts whisper that you're not enough, remember that every expert was once a beginner. The process of learning not only enhances your abilities, but transforms your perspective, turning obstacles into opportunities to develop further. Imagine the gradual, steady progress that comes from dedicating time each day to self-improvement. IT might be as simple as reading a book that expands your understanding, practicing a craft that demands patience and focus, or engaging in a physical activity that challenges your endurance. These practices, though they may seem small in isolation, compound over time to create significant growth. In the deliberate pursuit of new knowledge and skills, you reclaim control over your narrative. Each lesson learned serves as a reminder that you possess the capacity to evolve, adapt, and ultimately overcome the setbacks that life has thrown your way. Active commitment to self-improvement is not about erasing the past, but about building upon it. The experiences you have endured provide valuable insights, and when combined with new skills, they forge a potent mixture of wisdom and strength. Every step taken in TIS direction is a testament to your refusal to be defined by adversity. It is important to approach the process of learning with humility and perseverance. Acknowledge that mastery takes time, and that setbacks in your journey of self-improvement are themselves opportunities to practice resilience. There will be days when progress seems slow and the horizon appears distant. Yet in these moments, the simple act of persisting, of dedicating yourself to the gradual accumulation of knowledge, becomes a form of victory. Each new habit formed, whether it is a disciplined morning routine, a meditation practice, or a commitment to regular exercise, you create a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. These habits are not only practical tools, but powerful symbols of your determination to rise above the difficulties you have faced. They reinforce the notion that even after the darkest of storms, there exists the potential for renewal and transformation. Consider the significance of setting aside dedicated time for growth. In a world that moves quickly and often values instant results, the decision to slow down and invest in yourself is a radical CT of defiance against the pull of despair. ITIS, a deliberate choice to prioritize long-term strength over short-term comfort. Carve out moments in your day to reflect on what you have learned, to practice the new skills you are acquiring, and to celebrate the small victories that come with each incremental improvement. In doing so, you build a resilient framework that not only supports you in times of crisis, but propels you toward a future filled with possibility. The knowledge that you can learn, adapt, and improve imbue you with a quiet confidence, a conviction that no setback can permanently diminish your capacity for growth. Embrace challenges as the training ground for your inner strength when faced with a difficult situation. Instead of retreating into despair, view IT as an opportunity to test and refine your newfound skills. The ACT of confronting a problem head-on, armed with the tools you have acquired through continuous learning, reinforces your belief in your own capabilities. Over time, these experiences accumulate, each one adding a layer of expertise and assurance that further solidifies your resilience. With every skill mastered and every habit adopted, you build an arsenal of resources that will serve you well in the face of future adversity. The process of learning becomes not just a means of overcoming setbacks, but a celebration of your inherent ability to grow beyond them. In TS' ongoing journey, the transformation is gradual yet profound. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable begin to shrink in the light of your expanding competence. Your mind opens to new perspectives and your heart steadies. The assurance that you are continuously evolving. The path of self-improvement is not always linear. It is marked by peaks and valleys, moments of clarity interspersed with periods of uncertainty. However, each moment of learning reinforces your determination, reminding you that you have the power to shape your future by investing in yourself today. Every time you step into the role of a lifelong learner, you affirm that your journey does not end. What the setback it is merely a pause, a necessary interlude that prepares you for the next phase of growth. The skills you acquire, the habits you form, and the knowledge you embrace all converge to create a resilient spirit, capable of facing life's toughest challenges. TS commitment to continual self-improvement is a dynamic force that transforms setbacks into catalysts for progress, empowering you to move forward with renewed strength and unwavering resolve. The ninth way is to harness the power of creative expression as a means of healing and transformation. When life deals you setbacks that seem to silence your inner voice, creative expression becomes a powerful tool to awaken that voice and reclaim your narrative in the midst of adversity. Allowing yourself to channel your emotions through art, writing, music, or any creative pursuit transforms pain into a language of resilience. This process is not about crafting perfection, but about releasing the pent-up energy that can otherwise keep you tethered to despair. When you give form to your inner world, whether through a stroke of a brush, the rhythm of a melody, or the careful choice of words on a page, you invite healing into the very fabric of your being. Imagine the ACT of creation as a gentle conversation with your soul, a dialogue in which every color note or sentence says a step toward rediscovering your strength. In these moments, the creative process becomes a mirror, reflecting your deepest emotions, transforming your setbacks into a narrative of endurance and hope. As you paint your emotions or write your story, you begin to see that the struggles you face are not just obstacles, but raw material for a life enriched with meaning and beauty. Each creative endeavor offers you a chance to articulate what is often left unspoken, to give shape to feelings that might otherwise remain chaotic and overwhelming. In this safe space of expression, you find that the act of creation is as much about the journey as it is about the finished piece. A journey that leads you back to a center of balance and self-awareness. Creative expression serves as a bridge to understanding and processing complex emotions when words alone are insufficient to capture the depth of your experience. The language of creativity can fill the gap. Writing in a journal allows you to trace the contours of your pain, layer by layer, until what once seemed insurmountable begins to make sense. Alternatively, engaging in music or visual arts offers a way to externalize emotions, turning sorrow into a rhythm or a visual landscape that speaks of both loss and the promise of renewal. There's a quiet magic in this transformation, the raw, unfiltered intensity of your feelings is gently molded into a form that not only communicates your journey to others, but reassures you of your inherent resilience. Every creative ACT is a testament to your ability to reframe your experience, to see beauty amid the chaos, and to let your inner light shine through. Despite the darkness, moreover, creative expression is a deeply personal process that fosters self-discovery. As you engage with your creative side, you uncover layers of yourself that may have been obscured by the weight of setbacks. Each moment spent in creative exploration is an invitation to explore uncharted territories within your heart and mind. It is through this exploration that you begin to forge a stronger connection with your inner self, one that is unafraid to express vulnerability and celebrate authenticity. The creative process, with its inherent trial and error, mirrors the journey of recovery itself, a continuous ebb and flow of progress, setbacks, and breakthroughs. In embracing TIS process, you learn to accept imperfection as a natural part of growth, understanding that every unfinished piece, every rough draft is an essential stepping stone toward your ultimate transformation. Consider setting aside dedicated time for creative endeavors, even if TIS only a few moments each day. Whether you choose to write a poem, sketch your feelings, or compose a simple melody, these ACTs of creativity allow you to express your inner landscape in a manner that transcends conventional logic. In the act of creation, you engage with your emotions in a way that is both healing and transformative. The process becomes a ritual, a reaffirmation of your capacity to create beauty from the fragments of your experience. As you continue to nurture this practice, you may find that your creative expressions not only help you process past setbacks, but inspire new ways of seeing the future. They become a source of empowerment, a reminder that within you lies an inexhaustible well of imagination and resilience. When you share your creative work with a friend or a wider audience, you open yourself to the possibility of connection and empathy. This ACT of sharing reinforces the idea that your journey, no matter how challenging, resonates with others. The feedback and encouragement you receive serve as validation of your inner strength and as an affirmation that your unique perspective is valuable. The creative process thus becomes a cycle of expression, reflection, and connection, a dynamic interplay that bolsters your resolve and enriches your recovery. Every line, WRIT10, Every stroke applied and every note played, I cess, a declaration of your refusal to be defined solely by your setbacks. Instead, it is a celebration of your ability to transform pain into a RT, to mold despair into a beacon of hope, and to rebuild your life with a renewed sense of purpose and creativity. Through creative expression, you tap into a profound source of healing that transcends the limitations of conventional coping. Makani SMS. It is an invitation to see your setbacks not as the end of your story, but as the beginning of a new chapter, rich with possibility and potential. In this space of creativity, you find that every setback is transformed into a narrative of resilience, a story that is compelling. As ITIS healing, the ACT of creation becomes a lifeline, guiding you toward a future where the scars of the past are transformed into symbols of strength and sources of inspiration. The 10th way is to transform your setbacks into a foundation for building a renewed identity that embraces both your past and your future. In the aftermath of life's most challenging blows, the process of redefining who you are. It's not about erasing what has come before, but rather about integrating every scar, every lesson into a mosaic of strength and authenticity. This method calls for a deliberate and heartfelt effort to sift through the remnants of your past experiences and extract the wisdom that lies within. It is an invitation to rebuild not merely by patching up the wounds, but by forging a self-identity that honors the journey you have traveled, by recognizing that every setback carries with it a piece of your unique story. You begin to see that your identity is not defined by failure, but by your unyielding capacity to rise, learn, and evolve. Begin this transformation by reflecting on the moments that once filled you with pain, and then reframe them as chapters in a narrative of resilience. Each hardship, each moment of defeat can be reinterpreted as a crucial lesson that has sculpted the contours of your character. In doing so, you shift the focus from what you have lost to what you have gained in wisdom and perspective. This redefinition is not an ACT of mere rationalization, but a creative emotional process that invites you to see beauty in the broken pieces of your past. Imagine your life as a tapestry where every thread, bright or dark, contributes to the overall strength and vibrancy of the fabric. The threads of hardship, interwoven with triumph, create a pattern that is uniquely yours, a design that speaks of endurance and the relentless pursuit of growth. In this phase of rebuilding your identity is essential to embrace vulnerability as a source of power. Allow yourself to acknowledge the pain without letting it dominate your narrative. Instead, use it as a stepping stone to a more profound understanding of who you are. Engage in honest self-reflection, perhaps through writing, meditation, or heartfelt conversations with trusted companions. By articulating your journey, the challenges you faced, the decisions you made, and the insights you gained, you begin to reclaim ownership of your story. Every recollection becomes a brick in the foundation of a self that is more resilient, more nuanced, and more authentic. The ACT of sharing your story, whether through personal expression or in the company of those who uplift you, transforms the past from a source of shame into a reservoir of strength. Reinforce this new identity by setting forth a vision for your future that honors your past experiences without being shackled by them. Establish clear intentions that align with the values you have distilled from your journey. And moments of self-doubt, remind yourself that the very struggles you endured have endowed you with insights and capabilities that no easy victory could ever impart. Allow these reflections to guide you in making decisions that are congruent with the person you are, becoming a person who is not defined by adversity, but by the ability to transform adversity into a beacon of hope and determination. In this ongoing process, affirmations play a crucial role. Develop a set of personal declarations that speak directly to your newfound identity, statements that resonate with the truth that every setback has prepared you for the challenges ahead. When you repeat these affirmations, you are not merely echoing empty words. You are solidifying a vision of yourself that is fortified by experience and emboldened by the certainty of your own growth. Think about the importance of legacy in this transformation. Recognize that the way you integrate your past into your identity has the power to influence not only your future, but the lives of those around you. Your story of recovery and reinvention can serve as a guiding light for others, navigating their own paths through hardship. In embracing your full history with all its trials and triumphs, you contribute to a larger narrative of human resilience and the transformative power of the human spirit. TTS legacy is not measured by the absence of pain, but by the courage to face it, to learn from it, and to emerge stronger with every step you take. To rebuild your identity, you set an example of how one can transform even the deepest wounds into sources of empowerment and inspiration. The journey of redefining yourself is ongoing and evolving it is a process of continual self-discovery where each day offers a new opportunity to integrate past lessons into the fabric of your being. Allow the setbacks you have faced to be the raw material from which a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself is molded. This process is both deeply personal and universally resonant, a testament to the indomitable nature of the human spirit. As you move forward, carry with you the awareness that your identity is not static, but an ever-changing masterpiece, enriched by every experience and every moment of recovery. In Tia's transformation lies the promise of renewal, a promise that no setback can ever diminish the enduring light within you, for it is that very light that will continue to guide you toward a future of infinite possibilities. Every step taken on TS journey of recovery reinforces the undeniable truth that resilience is not an inherited trait, but a cultivated force nurtured by each decision to rise above adversity. The process of bounce back transforms every setback into a reservoir of strength, a silent testament to the power of human perseverance. As you integrate the lessons learned, you forge a renewed spirit, one that is continuously evolving, ever adapting, and always reaching toward a brighter horizon. And embracing the scars of the past and the wisdom they impart you illuminate the path forward, turning hardship into a foundation for lasting growth. This enduring commitment to self renewal stands as a beacon of hope, guiding you steadily onward into a future defined not by defeat, but by infinite possibilities.